Manchester United is set to launch a 55 million swap for Mason Mount. Welcome to United Matters channel. It's Sammy McBall coming in from the Daily Mail, chief football reporter, breaking the story. Alex Crook coming in through to throw in some huge additives to the story that we're going to go ahead and really dissect in here for you, and I give you my own view, and we are waiting to see whether this story is really real or not in the next coming weeks, because the transfer window is opening very soon. Smash the like button, comment and share. If you're watching us for the very first time, endeavor to subscribe to this channel so as not to miss out on stories that we do upload in here on a daily. Rock and David remains my name, and we do strictly Manchester United news. Gravenberch, United still interested in the player, and last we are going to talk a little bit of the FA Cup finale. Should we talk the FA Cup finale? Let's talk some bit of Frenkie de Jong. A story coming in from Barcelona linking United to Frenkie de Jong that a side of Barcelona is willing to sell Frenkie de Jong this time around in the summer. Something that really makes Erik ten Hag happy and irritates some of us ever much want to back the manager, because we see exactly what happened last summer. We spent close to 3 months chasing on one player, missing out on what would have been those signings that we would have gonna hate to make in the season. Now, let's start it off with Mason Mount. Sammy McBall, what did he have to say about this story of Mason Mount to Manchester United? Sammy McBall, he's a chief football reporter for Daily Mail, said Manchester United are launching a 55 million swap for Mason Mount. He's a primary target for Erik ten Hag heading into the summer transfer window, who wants a deal wrapped up quickly. United's sources have indicated that talks over a move for Mount are set to commence. Then, in addition to Manchester United, Arsenal are also interested in Mason Mount, while Liverpool are also actively pursuing a deal for him. Mauricio Pochettino would also ideally prefer him to sign a new contract at Chelsea. Alex Crook, Erik ten Hag is encouraging the Manchester United hierarchy to get ahead of Arsenal and Liverpool by making the first formal bid for Mason Mount. It appears increasingly he'll leave Chelsea. Now, Sammy McBall is the same man that has been behind these stories that this guy wants to leave Chelsea, being linked to Liverpool, that Liverpool is close, Arsenal close. So to me, I don't find a lot of sense in this story. That's it. I know people will say that it's Sammy McBall. No. There are certain stories that I really believe that they are being cooked up by the agency of the player. The fact is, Mason Mount is fed up of Chelsea. He doesn't want to stay at Chelsea, and it brings you lots of questions in your head. If at all a born and bred Chelsea player, boyhood club, is wanting to get out of Chelsea, yet Chelsea want to tie him onto a longer contract. That's it. Now, to me, look at the players that Erik ten Hag is going to deliver at Manchester United. The quality they have in that midfield is nowhere next to that of Mason Mount. I don't believe that Mason Mount is has Eriksen qualities, Bruno Fernandes qualities, Donny van de Beek qualities, Marcel Sabitzer qualities. No way. You know, the best position for him is a central attacking midfielder. And guess what? The captain of Manchester United, Bruno Fernandes, is a position that he plays, and Ten Hag sees him as his future captain. That's it. You've watched very many games. How many games have you seen Erik ten Hag bench Bruno Fernandes? Few games. Most of the games, Bruno Fernandes plays for the entirety of the full 90. Secondly, Eriksen can also play as a central attacking midfield. If I told you evidence that game of Bournemouth very well, those first 10-15 minutes, Eriksen was playing high up the pitch and Bruno Fernandes was playing in the double pivot with Casemiro. So, to me, I don't believe that Erik ten Hag wants Mason Mount. This is the 4th time I'm doing a story on Mason Mount, and I'll only see this story land and come to happening and then believe it. That's it. Because when you look at how it was written, it really has loads of gaps in between them, you know. Now, let me show you this story that Erik ten Hag, this is it. This is the bit I want us to analyze. Erik ten Hag is encouraging Manchester United hierarchy to go ahead of Arsenal and Liverpool by making the first formal bid for Mason Mount. It appears increasingly he'll leave Chelsea. That is Alex Crew coming in from TalkSport. Then Sammy Mokbol has gone ahead and really said United are launching a 55 million swap for Mason Mount. He's a primary target for Erik ten Hag heading into the summer transfer window, who wants a deal wrapped up quickly. Wrapped up quickly, not that word. United sources have indicated that talks over a move for Mason Mount are set to commence. Now, we all know the players that Erik ten Hag wants. The number one target that Erik ten Hag wants is Harry Kane, or a centre forward. And he wants the money that is available to first be used to get in a player known as Harry Kane, Dusan Vlahovic, Goncalo Ramos, even if it's Victor Osimhen. For him, he wants a striker, and the priority signing of Manchester United is a centre forward. That's it. Do we have money for the centre forward? £100 million are readily available. Do we have money to get in Mason Mount? I don't see United spending £55 million to Mason Mount. I think Ten Hag is sold to a move to bring in Rabiot. And the story I'm going to bring you of Fabrizio Romano confirming to us that United are really chasing for Adrian Rabiot and they want him. And the moment you see Adrian Rabiot land at Manchester United, you cannot get Mason Mount. And if at all you're having Mason Mount and Rabiot, who would you play? Obviously, Rabiot is a more talented guy than Mason Mount. And apart from that, Rabiot is a free agent. Mason Mount will cost £55 million. I understand stories have been sold outside there that he's a homegrown player, English player, that's why United is going in for him. Ten Hag is not all about that. I think for that, I can agree it on Harry Kane. That's it. And Harry Kane is going to hate to score goals. However much he's old, but he's going to hate to score goals for Tottenham Hotspur. And if he comes in to score 30 goals a season for Manchester United in the Premier League, that will be a very huge additive to those of Marcus Rashford, Anton Martial, Anthony, and very many others. So, I don't see anywhere United is going to get in Mason Mount because the monies are not there. Even if the money is there, I think the last player that Erik ten Hag would think of signing is Mason Mount. He needs a backup for Casemiro. He needs a right-sided centre-back, that is Kim Min-jae, who goes for £45 million. I believe that if at all Ten Hag is told to spend £50 million on Mason Mount or Kim Min-jae, he rather spends that money on Kim Min-jae rather than Mason Mount. That's it. So, I think it's a deal that Ten Hag will just make after failing to get in his players that he wants. There is another player that Erik ten Hag is being linked to, that is Gravenberch. We're going to talk about him in the next 2-3 minutes coming in through, but I don't really see this deal happening. That's it. When it happens, I'm going to be shocked. But I don't see Ten Hag spending his calories and telling the board of United to deliver Mason Mount to Manchester United. No way. There are other players that Ten Hag is more interested in to bring the club of Manchester United. And Mason Mount is nowhere near the qualities of Erik ten Hag that he wants. That's it. So, the other player that we are being linked to and is a midfielder is Ryan Gravenberch. Fabrizio Romano earlier this week, while appearing onto the United stand, told us the following: that Man United, Liverpool and Arsenal appreciate Ryan Gravenberch's quality. Bayern are intent on keeping him, but that can change depending on circumstances. Now, let's do Manchester United. We are interested in Ryan Gravenberch. Even during the January transfer window, when Ten Hag approached Bayern Munich, he wanted Ryan Gravenberch first before they offered him Marcel Sabitzer. That's it. So, when you look at Ryan Gravenberch, he's a player that is more talented than Mason Mount, you know? And if chance is there, Ten Hag will first go in for Ryan Gravenberch than Mason Mount. And there are very many players that you can get at that price of Mason Mount, maybe £55 million, 50 or 60, that are of more quality than him. Look at Casemiro. However much he's old, we got him at £70 million, you know? If you can get in a player that is really great, the likes of the Tinalis of this world, the Moise Caicedos of this world, I think it will be a better deal. And I think Ten Hag will spend most of his time on getting the likes of Gravenberch of this world than Mason Mount. So to me, I'm not sold to that story. If Ten Hag loves the player in Mason Mount, I'll 100% support him and back him, because he's the manager of Manchester United. We love him, and he won't make a wrong decision, because most of the decisions he has gone ahead to make onto the transfers he has made ever since he came into Manchester United have paid off positively. So let's wait and see on Mason Mount on whether he's going to be coming in at Manchester United. For Ryan Gravenberch, Bayern are saying he's not for sale, but the player is demanding for first-team football, and Bayern looks like they're not going to offer first-team football to Ryan Gravenberch. That will really force him out of the club of Bayern Munich, and I think he'll go on a cheap, like £30 million, because they bought him at like 25 million euros, like £20 million. I think they'll sell him at £30 million because he has not been playing ball. That's it. So let's wait and see what's going to pan out from that story of Ryan Gravenberch, interest being registered by Manchester United, and very many others. Let's go to this story coming in from El País from Spain. They're having 8.7 million followers. They've told us that United have decided to invest 500 million euros in their squad this summer and want to sign 2 FC Barcelona players, Ronald Araujo and Frenkie de Jong. Now, when I first saw this story, I just found it useless. But for 2 days I've been contemplating on this story, whether to bring it to you, the viewers of the United Matters channel, or not. But today I decided to go ahead and really bring you this story. Do you know why? I think in every lies there is some bit of truth. Talking of 500 million euros to spend, with a story broken yesterday that the Glazers are going to announce the new owner or the preferred bidder of Manchester United before Friday, or on Friday, just adds some doubts to this. If it's Sheikh Jassim Al Thani, I think he can have this amount of money for us to spend. So I think I found some truth in it, and that means the Glazers might be willing to sell the club to Sheikh Jassim Al Thani, and we know Sheikh Jassim Al Thani is willing to spend a lot and deliver Erik ten Hag every player that he needs. Now, United wanting to sign Ronald Araujo, that's it. Right-sided centre-back, very good player, fast, and he's really talented, energetic, tailor-made for the Premier League. And Frenkie de Jong. Every time Ten Hag hears the name Frenkie de Jong, he just smiles and just says, Lord, why don't you deliver this player to me at Manchester United? Now, the situation at Barcelona has gone ahead to change as far as Frenkie de Jong is really concerned. Things keep changing, and the transfer market keeps changing according to what the club is all about. Now, Barcelona has been told that they need to deliver 210 million euros to really go back to stability, to get in Lionel Messi and some other players. Now, I've read a story that Ruben Neves might find himself at Barcelona, and Ansu Fati might cross to Wolverhampton Wanderers, and Wolverhampton Wanderers will top up £30 million onto that deal. I think that would be something great. Remember, Ruben Neves is a central defensive midfielder, and Frenkie de Jong is another midfielder that has gone ahead to impress this season. But with the problems Barcelona are really having, if they raise £30 million from Ansu Fati and Ruben Neves, that will be good business, but that will still call for more sales. Rafinha is another one they can sell, and that's why you've seen them being linked to Di Maria on a free. Then, the other player that can get them close to 80 million euros is Frenkie de Jong, and they might find themselves selling Frenkie de Jong and Rafinha, you know, to collect close to 160 million euros. Then when you add the 30 they are going to get from Ansu Fati plus Ruben Neves, that is 190. There is Neto at Bournemouth, they need to sell him. Clement, is it Lenglet at Spurs is another player they need to sell, you know. And they're having some other players they can maybe sell, like Ferran Torres. They can get like 50 million euros from him. So with that contemplation, they can reach 210 million euros if at all they sell other players and add on Frenkie de Jong, because Frenkie de Jong is a player that Ten Hag is obsessed with and very many other teams are willing to pay that money for. So for Frenkie de Jong, something might happen there. Let's keep it into the spotlight and see what is going to develop. So guys, your thoughts on United launching or set to launch a £55 million swap for Mason Mount are welcome in the comment section below. Frenkie de Jong again in the mix, possibly up for sale again in the summer. And lastly, what do you make about Ryan Gravenberch, a player that Erik Ten Hag is obsessed with and he wants him to come to Manchester United? I sign out for now. See you later. I cover you all in the precious blood of Jesus Christ. My Muslim friends, may Allah bless you abundantly. Me out for now. See you later.